That's your cue, Steve.
That's my cue, and welcome everyone to our Saturday morning training here. We call it the Pitch Golden Ticket. Not the golden ticket to just financial prosperity, but just prosperity in general, right? Spiritual, physical, emotional, intellectual prosperity. You can't have one without the other, right? It all falls apart. And one of those people today has designed that path to prosperity is going to be our first speaker, my partner and good friend, Mr. Dave Jarin.
Good morning. Thanks, Steve. And good morning to all the members and the builders and everybody that's participating here this morning. We're just going to talk about some concepts, lay out, if you will, a vision. You've been hearing about Vision 2026 since last year. And Vision 2026 is a path. And what I learned early on from our mentors is we're going to lay out a track. Bless you, whoever's coughing, if you could mute your phone. But we want you to be healthy. Uh, our mentors always said the track is, you don't have to run down this track. The key is that you want to. And so we're going to lay out a vision for you with concepts, right? Concepts never change. Um, and these concepts are designed to give you some guidance and some direction, but not just, you know, throwing out ideas that we think or hope may work. We know that these concepts work when they're incorporated. Now, you're going to incorporate them in your own personality, your own style, your own daily method of operation, as far as how you put things in play, how you work the strategies, how you work one day to the next, one week to the next, one month to the next, one quarter to the next. And momentum is one of the most exciting parts of life. And as you know, with Pitch, we're all about creating experiences. And if you've not experienced momentum in your life, which I know pretty much everybody has, it really is the most exciting part of life. Whether it's in your personal life, whether it's in your business realm, there's nothing like momentum. Momentum is, frankly, it's magical, but it does take a focused, concentrated effort to stay consistent with doing basics every single day. And yes, mastering the mundane, because, sometimes of you will say, well, I've heard this before. I know. And you're going to hear it again and again and again. The key is that your communities begin to grow and they are hearing it. So this will be the best training of your entire life if you have members plugged in here today. If it's yourself coming forward and maybe you're coming by yourself or you have one or two, again, your level of reception is not going to be as high as somebody that's got 10, 15, 20, 30 people plus on this experience this morning. And so focusing on the message, not the messenger. Again, it's always about the message and getting clear on what do we do next? How do we go fast and how do we build this thing on a rock solid foundation? And so everything that we're going to lay out here today and next month and the month after is by 100% complete design. Why? Because we want you to see what we see, feel what we feel, and if you will, get the bigger picture. Many of you have already got the big picture. Like you see the unfolding potential here with this platform called Pitch, with the opportunity that's at hand. And so, what we found is great as a product or a service is in life, that's not what's going to establish, sustain, and advance somebody's momentum. And as great as an income opportunity may be, which it is here, that's not going to be enough to establish, sustain, and advance somebody through their entire career. In other words, that stick to itiveness is going to be elusive. So what is it? What is the one element that allows somebody to lock in, hang around the flagpole, and until they pick up a few things to gain that clarity, which brings a strong sense of destiny. And there's nothing like it. Like I said, momentum is the most magical part of the business. And so, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the basics, the personal development, which always comes before the fortune. And when we talk about fortune, we're not talking about money. We're not talking about income. Yeah, that's one golden spoke on the wheel, but it says, just like Steve said in the beginning here, it really is about focusing in on a few developments each and every single day. Number one, your spiritual development. That's up to you. Whatever that looks like for you, you're a howling success. To have that conscious connection. Number two, your mental development. And number three, your physical development. What we're going to do is encourage you just to get a little bit better every single day with whatever that looks like for you. Why is the personal development so critical and so important? Because the most excited people on the face of the earth are the ones that are growing personally each and every single day. They're becoming more, they're learning more, they're gaining more value, they're sharing that value forward. And as they begin to share that forward, the marketplace always pays for value. Now, when I first heard this information, I really wasn't that crazy about it because I was looking at what kind of income I was making. And what am I making? And it wasn't a lot. As a matter of fact, I was going through some very difficult times. And I remember when they came and repossessed my car, right? And my mentor, one of them said, Dave, don't worry about it. It's easy. It's an easy fix. You want more, become more. Increase your value to the marketplace. We have a plan of action that works if you're willing to work it. Not only can you produce your way out of your financial situation, but one day you'll be able to build a foundation, a financial foundation, and that's just used as a measuring stick to springboard off of into your full potential, your highest and best. Because all money is energy. It supports who you are. It doesn't make you a different person. It makes you more of what you are. And so, what we're going to do here is we're going to focus in on this vision, the second quarter of 2026. And we're going to understand that what we do today doesn't begin to show up till tomorrow. The key is consistency, one day at a time. What we do this week is going to begin to show up next week. What we do this month is going to show up next month. What we do this quarter is going to show up next quarter. So the truth is, even though we're in the second quarter of 2026, we're already preparing and focused in on quarter number 3 and Q4, the last quarter of the year that sets up your entire income for the new year. Now, the key to success is being able to establish the momentum. How do you establish the momentum? Through the basics. Okay. And so we're going to begin to scroll forward here. If we could, there we go. We're going to continue to scroll forward if you'd be so kind. And let's go to the basics here for a half a second. Thank you very much. The basics, and by the way, I'm observing. Listen, I'm on every call. I listen to everything that's going on, and I can hear who's in the flow. Okay. These basics, use talking demo, have built multi-billion, that's with a B, dollar brands that exist in the marketplace today and are growing. Okay. Some of them for 33 straight years. So the basics work, but as simple as it is to do, it's just as simple not to do. So, number one, obviously, we want to use pitch. You want to master the platform. And I have to say, I've not seen grown men have more fun with this platform than I have with pitch. I mean, I've not seen anywhere else where people get giddy and excited because of all the different features and everything that pitch has become. Look how far we've come since July 17th when we activated pitch 1.0. Think about that. We've done 1.0. The company, the tech team, Mateo and the entire group have built out 2.0. You guys have been there every step of the way with us through it all as we're getting this foundation in place. For what? For a launch, for an official launch. And so we're going to look back at these times and say, wow, that was something, wasn't it? So the first step is with the basics, which never change. So you want to get this to be a part of you when you're talking about this type of a business, if you will. And by the way, I've got friends that I've shared this with here in the last 2 weeks that have made hundreds, and I don't say this to impress you, but as uh, members or whatever you want to call them, partners in other companies, distributors, reps, whatever you want to call them, same type of a model, but more traditional networking, okay, that have made quote unquote hundreds of millions of dollars in income doing it the original way that the industry was founded, but now they're beginning to blend into the new way and leveraging technology to work smarter versus harder to save time, money, and energy. I was talking to a friend last week who's one of the top income earners in the entire networking industry. And I about fell off my chair because it was the first time I had heard him use the basics in the sense of use talk demo. Okay. All you got to do, he's pitching me on his deal, right? Use talk and demo. Because why is he pitching me? Because he knows we can help power up his brand awareness campaign. He knows we're in the right place at the right time with the right technology, with the right features, and we can literally position his company that's in about 20 countries into up to 200 countries before his brand even hits those countries. Meaning we can build out with this platform a network of entrepreneurs that will be eager to market his product. Okay. That will be leveraging the pitch platform with whatever they're marketing currently right now. So the first step is you want to master the platform. And as you and we'll get to this in just a minute, but as you've begun to see, we've expanded the support system. So we have the workshops 4 days a week now. You can come in and ask questions, gain clarity. Forget to ask a question? No problem. Come back to the next one. Every day, Monday through Thursday, or Monday through Wednesday, we've got the 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time onboarding workshops. And then we do a special edition one on Thursday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So the support is there for you to master the Pitch 2.0 platform. So, number one, you want to master the platform. Become a master. That way, it gives you strength and confidence when you're talking in the marketplace. Step number two, talk to people. And we have different ways and means, which we'll get into here today. Steve's going to share with you the different ways that we can talk to people, which we'll get into in just a minute. And how we talk to people is through a demo. Now, in the interim here, as we're moving forward, Pamela or Alvaro, can you drop in there the links and let me know when those are dropped in to the chat so people have access to the 5 links? And once those are dropped in there, let us know, and then we'll talk about these links for half a second. The ways and means to talk to people, as you again have seen, outside of just the support system being put in place, we've got different ways and means to communicate so people can what? Begin to see more, feel more, and gain the bigger picture. And so use the product, step number one. That's never going to change. Talk to people, how you talk to people, whether it's a one-on-one, belly to belly, whether it's a phone call, whether you do a demo, whatever you send them a video, one of the short videos, one that's less than a minute, the 1 minute video, the 2 minute video, the 3 minute video, or the 7 minute video. You pick and choose how you want to bring somebody into the process. So, moving right along from the basics, use, talk, and demo, let's talk about the process for half a second. Again, the process, however they come in. Somebody's first exposure may be an open house event on Tuesday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Okay? That's okay. Now, I always think it's an advantage to lever one of the short videos with Steve Jameson, or it's an advantage to have them see a 10-minute live demo through Steve Jameson's VIP calendar versus putting them on an open house event as a first exposure. But they're all advantages. There are no disadvantages. However you bring somebody into the process, you're going to be a howling success. But it's kind of like when you sit down or you go out to a restaurant, you have a meal. They bring you appetizers first. The short videos, the 10-minute demo, they're like rich appetizers, right? The open house events, it's a spectacular. There's no doubt about it. And people will gain the orientation that they need to make an intelligent decision. I just like to plant the seeds in advance with some of the different ways and means that you have. And your members, your success members, and your success builders will do as you do, not what you say. So again, that grassroots, that front end promotion, working from Tuesday to Tuesday, with setting people up with bringing them into the process, whether it's through the short videos, whether you're going to do a demo with them, whether you're going to put them on a live demo with Steve Jameson, the VIP calendar. That link will be put into the chat here in a second. It doesn't matter. Like I said, everything's an advantage. There are no disadvantages here. Okay. The key is what? To work it, whatever it is, whatever works best for you, spare time, part time, or full time. So the process is what we're marketing. You say, what do you mean, Dave? We're marketing Pitch 2.0, the product. Yes, that's definitely one golden spoke on the wheel, but the process encompasses everything from the product to the opportunity to the support system where people can learn the concepts and the principles and the values and skills on how to go from average to fortune, increase their value into the marketplace. All of this is part of the process. And I will tell you, as this unfolds, as we go into through the second quarter of the year, into the third quarter, through the summer campaign, and setting up the last quarter of the year, and we roll into 2027 with all the New Year's resolutions, you guys you'll look back. Everybody will look back and say, "Wow, look at what has been created so far, just thus far." And look at how much we've learned and grown and gained. And more importantly, what I get giddy about is when you see others excited about what they're learning, how they're growing, how they're having success. Nothing like it. That to me is the most rewarding part of this type of a business. So, Pamela, have we dropped in those links? And who is Pamela? We're going to go to the next slide here. There we go. Thank you. The next slide is the VIP invite calendar. Did we? Can anybody see the links in there yet? If not, then we'll just wait till we get through this phase of the call, and then when we go into the, you should be able to see the links. The second part of the call. But the VIP, if you don't have the VIP calendar, it's also attached to the Success Academy, which is attached to your website. And again, you should have that access code. I'll give it to you because everybody here is a member. It's 76116. If you go to invites, you're going to see Steve Jameson's VIP calendar. So you can schedule live 10-minute demos, if you will. We also put him out, his VIP link, out on many of our communications that you'll see through the company emails, through the Success Academy WhatsApp, which is just a group that promotes the different events, the different announcements. But you'll have access to his link. Once you have access to his calendar, schedule people in. But again, it's always an advantage if you have them see one of the shorter videos, if you've brought him into the process at some level before you put him in front of Steve. But it's not a disadvantage if you don't. It's just they're again seeing more, they're feeling more, they're gaining the bigger picture. They're warmed up a little bit, right? Versus coming in cold. But Steve will handle them either way. And when Steve wraps up his little demo with everybody, they will see more, they will feel more, and everybody will be excited because that is the constant response that we get from every single person. So what are we doing here? Let's go to the next slide, which is the pitch fast start bonus. And again, guys, we're taking you someplace. We're not just going to walk around the block 5 times without stopping at the front door. we're gonna stop. But all of this that you've seen so far, from the basics to the process to the VIP calendar, we've alluded a little bit about the videos, the different ways and means, the open house events, the workshops. All of this again supports the process. Your goal, and now I'm talking at what I would call the next level for the success builders. These are the ones that have gone beyond just wanting to be a rewards customer or a cash rewards customer. They've gone a little bit beyond, if you will, from referring free as a customer and getting their product for free, or they're in between, if you will, between being a free customer, and they've got 4 active referrals that they put into the pipeline, and they're actually coming into play and looking at getting a basic 5 in place. Now, this basic 5, and you guys have been flexible with us, we're being flexible with you. The goal here is to get it within your first 30 days, which we hit the reset button the first day of the new month. Okay. So you've got the rest of the month to get your basic 5. 5 new active subscribers enrolled this month. What does that do for you? Well, number one, it gets you your pro plan for free. Okay. Number two, it gives you 5 advocates, 5 people that are in process. They're beginning to see what you see, feel what you feel, gain the bigger picture. And you never know. Nobody knows who's going to run with this. We don't. None of us know. We cannot pick them. That's one thing for sure. The ones you think will won't, and the ones you think won't will. And so this basic 5, okay, and I'm talking again to the ones that have kind of stepped up their game to the next level, okay, and they're really getting contemplating and seeing this as a serious business opportunity. Your goal is to get a basic 5 every month. That's your goal. Now, whether you hit it or you fall short or you surpass it, the issue is not the numbers. The issue is that you try. That's it. That you make an effort. That you're taking some of these different ways and means. You're leveraging this process that we're laying out for you, the support, so that what you can get a little better every day. And I have to tell you, I mean, I've had kids right out of high school bring on what I would consider monsters in the business, very successful individuals before networking and during networking. And, the incomes that they earned as a result of just bringing in one superstar was amazing. So nobody knows who's going to bring in who. That's one of the magical parts of the business. But again, your goal from one success training, 1 month to the next, is to get a basic 5. That should be your focus. Don't put a limitation on that. Our mentors taught us to go get 10. Okay? Go get 10. Enroll 10 new members a month, 10 new active members a month. It's a different world today. And for us, what is palatable and what we have seen with people that we've worked with side by side that have built multi-billion-dollar companies that are continually growing every single year, there's magic to the basic 5. Okay? Now, like I said, if you surpass it, great. If you fall short, it's okay. Great. You made the effort. If you hit it, great. Congratulations. It does not matter what the number is, because the number is the result of the effort. So make a note. Every single time you bring somebody in, they have 30 days to get a basic 5. Okay? And what I would encourage you to do is help them every which way you possibly can. Don't make it an issue. Okay? But you will see there's going to be people like Steve Rame and John Nelson and Ray Jeton and Phil Franklin and others, okay, that have basically they've run right up the flagpole, and now they're on their way to coming. They've gone beyond 20 and on their ways to 30. I know Ray's at 40, 50, or whatever it is. I don't know what the total enrollment numbers are, but they understand massively enrolling new people because, again, nobody knows who's going to go for this thing. So, in saying that, let's continue to move forward. A basic 5 is what you want to achieve. Go for every single month at a minimum. So, let's take a look here at the very next success training, which is coming up on the 18th. Okay, or actually, we're already here. Sorry, I'm scrolling here. I've got 2 phones in front of me. How about that one, huh? Thank you. Okay, so let's keep going here. And you've got a week at a glance. Okay, so we've had such great feedback here with working the success trainings, going from 1 month to the next, if you will. Here we are in April, so let's go to the April. There we go. Thank you. And these interactive calendars are fantastic. That Alvaro and the team put together, and Pamela had a huge impact on. And so as you see, for example, April. Okay, here we are today at the success training. We've got basically 2 weeks left to close out the month strong. You see the support in play. Again, people will begin to see the track to run on. They'll begin to see, okay, look at this. We have all this support now. All I have to do is get people to see what I see, feel what I feel, gain the bigger picture, and be a part of the next major impending event. So let's move forward. So April sets up the next month, which is May. And we have our next uh, success training on the 16th. Okay, so basically less than a month, if you will. Call it a month, if you will. And again, what's the goal? To get a basic five. That's the goal. How do you get the basic five? Pretty simple. You bring people into the process. What's the process a result of? It's a result of the basics. Use pitch, talk pitch, demo pitch. Let's continue to scroll here as we look at the calendar for the month of May. And again, in the May calendar on the 16th is going to be the next success training event for people to gain what? Clarity. What are we trying to achieve here? If you walk away with one or two gems, if you gain clarity just off of the message of what's being shared here today on the front end, that's our goal. We've accomplished our goal, is to gain a little bit more clarity each and every single time we have an opportunity to get together once a month. So in saying that, let's continue on. Okay. Hold on. I love when I just had a call that came in and knocked me off of my page. Okay, here we go. Okay. So May sets up June. Okay. And thank you. And so June again, we look at the calendar and we've got all this support from the onboarding workshops 4 days a week to the open house event every single Tuesday night. And then we roll everybody into once a month to success training sessions. And the goal is to get a basic five. Now, this is a setup for what's coming. Okay. What we're laying out here, trying to impress upon you a vision, is we're gonna evolve. Everybody will always have access to the success trainings. Not everybody will have access to the success academies. The success academies, that's where you get your golden ticket. Why? How do I get a golden ticket? I've achieved my basic five. I've got 5 active members that are loving what they've got their hands on with Pitch 2.0. They love the process. They love the environment. They love everything that the company's put together. So, to be determined, and to be determined, to be brutally honest with everybody, is a result of when the leadership, the pool begins to grow, the community begins to grow, we will strategically put in the success academies. We're all about momentum. That's how we kicked off this call here today. So we will know the right time to incorporate the academies. And yes, we'll still have the success trainings, but we will be doing the academies once a quarter for those that actually achieve the basic five. So, what I do know is the rate of the leader determines the speed of the pack. One of my mentors, and I'm going to wrap it up here, said to me when I was watching a production bonus and we were at an event, and he says, I noticed you're not up on stage this time, getting a production bonus. And I said, yeah, but all those guys are mine, right? They're out there in my group. I brought them in. I was happy. I was proud of what they've done. He goes, no, that's great, Dave. He says, but let me tell you something. He said, I would encourage you to always set the pace. Always go for the production bonus. Even though the performance bonuses are temporary, it builds your royalty override check. So in essence, you getting a basic five, shooting for that every month from one success training to the next, is, like I said, it's a tremendous advantage. There's no disadvantages if you don't hit the mark. But once a quarter, we will be doing the Success Academies. They will be higher level trainings, if you will. You've done more, your communities are growing, so you deserve more. And so your business is beginning to evolve into really a serious business mode that could be something very, very special. And so the basic five, your golden ticket takes you to the Success Academy, if you will. And and again, stay plugged into the power source. And the power source is all these different elements, which you can move forward to the next. There you go. Thank you. All these different elements, okay, that we have to support everybody, the whole community, so that you don't have to miss a beat. The issues that you plug into the power source. And what I mean by that, it's like a blow dryer. If you plug it in, you can turn the blow dryer on and you can derive power, right? But if you never plug it in, if you're not plugged in, if you're not staying on top of current circumstances, current momentum, well, you're going to miss a beat and it will fragment your momentum, whatever momentum you may have or not. If you don't have momentum, you have not very high odds of actually creating momentum. And I will tell you, that doesn't mean somebody's not going to come in and do a whole lot of sales. There's a big difference between doing a whole lot of sales versus actually creating momentum. Okay. And you'll begin to understand that over the course of the next 18 to 36 months if you've not experienced it thus far in your career. So, the WhatsApp chat, the group, the Success Academy, we have a Success Academy WhatsApp, and we also have a Success Academy that's attached to the website, your replicated website. But again, we promote the different announcements, the different events that are taking place. We drop in a little bit of Jim Rohn, if you will. We drop in some other personal development stuff, and those that support will grow, and it will be more collective as we grow. Because our goal is to create a self-functional environment. Okay, what does a self-functional environment mean? It means that whether the company has its half a dozen to a dozen people, or you have a half a dozen to a dozen people in your community, in your organization, if you had to leave for whatever reason, you could govern it from a distance and see that your group, your community is going to continue to grow no matter what. So, staying plugged into the WhatsApp for the announcements, the different strategies, tactics, the promotions to the different events is a tremendous advantage. It's not a disadvantage if you don't, but I have to tell you, the ones that are plugged into the power source and leverage what we're putting out, it will help enhance and advance your momentum factor if you put it into action. So, in saying that, the next part of this session is going to be Mr. Steve Jameson. And Steve's going to come on here in a minute and he's going to demo a couple of things. He's going to talk to you about the talking photos. He's going to be talking to you about the international translation. He's going to be talking to you about the interactive webinar platform. He's going to show you, some of the things that we just did, I hope at least, because it was so amazing. He's going to show you what we just did with one of our VIP guests this past Tuesday night. So he'll demo a little bit of that talking photo. He's going to demo and show you how you can begin to outreach and not have to learn every single language out there to be able to build a global community. And he's going to show you how to leverage the different features like what we just did here with the webinar feature to switching right over to interactive. Then the last part, which I would encourage you to stay, is I want you to hear from Mateo Ramos, who is the CTO, and he is going to talk to you about the Pitch 2.0 back office. And many of you, like Ray Jeton, he expressed his genuine excitement about how far the company's come. And I have to say, congratulations to Steve and to all the, I call them the invisible heroes, whether they're corporate on the corporate side or in the field, because trust me, we're observing everybody. It's because of you collectively that we are where we are today. It's by the grace of God that we are here where we are today. And I have to say this, that it's only going to get better from this point forward. But the key here is we need you. We want your DNA in on this wet piece of clay called pitch. Where we are today versus where we're going to be going into the first quarter of next year will be like night and day. But let's enjoy today. So, in saying that, I want to set up my dear friend here, who, I've gotten to know at this time of our life on a whole different level. Before it was all business. Now it's a lot of, we talk about personal things that are really more important than business, regarding navigating life and how to stay in alignment, and know that we are making the highest and best decisions that not only impact our personal lives, but impact everybody that's around us. And so he's been committed. His creativity is amazing. He's got some amazing gifts, which he recognizes that they are gifts. He doesn't take credit for anything. And he has really warmed up to this amazing team and gotten to know this team, um, that does all the things behind the scenes to make pitch come alive. And we're just grateful. Number one, I am for sure as a friend, and to have the friendship. And it was Harry that actually reconnected us again. And that's another story for another day. But that was a great little unfolding how that all came about. I will tell that at another time. But it's been just an absolute blast here, even in these early stages. So without further ado, bring on my dear friend, creator, and CEO of the company, Mr. Steve Jameson. Come on out, Steve.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody.